Hi, this is Dave Bardellis with AnnArborBeer.com. I'm here with Scott Farney, sales manager for Saugatuck Brewing Company at the first annual Ashley's Invitational Beer Throwdown. So tell me a little bit about the beers that you brought. We have four here. Singapore IPA is kind of your flagship beer. Can you tell me a little bit about it and why it's so good?
Well, yeah, we brought four beers tonight. We brought three of the beers that we distribute throughout the state, and one beer that we brought as a special release that, unless you came here tonight, the only other place in the world you would get it would be is at the brewery. So we're very happy to have brought that beer. But our IPA, starting with that, what makes it special just is the balance of this beer. This beer is brewed with four different types of hops. It's got Cascade, Centennial, Columbus, and Autumn hops. The beer has a very, very special aromatic hop aroma to it, and a beautiful floral hop flavor to the beer, which finishes with just a tiny little bit of citrus. I think what makes the beer most special is its balance, in that it's not singular in any way. It comes through all the way across the palate with a number of different characteristics that make it a really, really nice IPA.
Second beer you brought was the ESB Amber.
Yes.
Now that could be a little confusing to some people who think of Amber and ESB as kind of a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is going on here? And it's a little confusing to some people.
Yeah, that can be confusing. What confuses most people is not necessarily the amber. They understand the amber being the color, and the hue of the beer obviously gives that away. The confusion obviously comes from the ESB, and where does that come from? And most people, that's extra special bitter, or export special bitter, or English special bitter, depending on who you talk to. It can be any one of the three. The confusion part comes with that last word. Bitter always gets used. And a lot of people are turned off by that word bitter. This is not a bitter beer. This beer is a malt lover's beer. This beer is brewed with 6 or 7 different malts. And the reason that it is categorized as a bitter is because the English would add a special extra added amount of hops to this beer to make sure that the beer was still fresh when it reached their soldiers in India or in the Americas. It was a long travel around the bottom of Africa, and they found that their beers would get sour or foul, and so they added extra special bittering units to the beer. That's all that refers to as the classic style.
So an English bitter is actually not as bitter as what we would think of in America as an IPA or a double IPA.
Yeah, absolutely. Most American and most Michigan craft IPAs are actually going to have a higher bittering unit than an English special bitter. Yeah.
So moving on to the third beer here, you have the Oval Beach Blonde, which conjures up images of being on Lake Michigan in the summer and so forth. We're months away from that now, but tell me a little bit about that beer.
Oval Beach Blonde is one of our most popular beers. We sell a lot of this beer on draft. This is a crossover beer for people who want to come out to a great establishment like Ashley's and partake in this great trend or this great thing that's going on with Michigan craft beers. This is a beer for people who are really kind of not sure what they want to do, but they know they want to try a craft beer. It's only 5 to 5.5% alcohol. It's brewed with 2-row malt and carapils. It's a very, very light, easy drinking ale. This beer is a sessionable beer. It's very approachable. You can see by the color it doesn't scare anyone. The aroma is very mild, and it's got a kind of nice little sweetness on the finish. The beer is actually a really good food beer, but a blonde ale from Saugatuck Brewing Company, Oval Beach Blonde, really, really nice, easy drinking beer.
And moving on to the last beer, you brought a black pale ale. What exactly is that?
Well, when you talk about confusion, pale ale, and then you throw the word black in front of it. And a lot of people here tonight at Ashley's have asked me, that doesn't make any sense. What are you trying to do here? Well, it's a traditional English pale ale recipe that our master brewer Ron Conklin has brewed. And then what we do with this beer is we introduce or we add some black patent malt and some chocolate malt to the last 10 or 15 minutes of the boil process. By doing that at the end, you don't really impart any of the charcoal or the mocha or the coffee or the dark roasted flavors from those malts, but you impart the color. And so what we're doing here is we're taking a traditional pale ale and we're blackening it just by the addition of those roasted malts. And then the beer is obviously hopped quite nicely, so you get a real nice hop characteristic in this beer that goes from start to finish as well as in the aromatics. But a little confusing sometimes, but black ales are becoming more and more popular, and we decided to bring this beer tonight to the Throwdown as kind of our special entry. This beer has never been tasted by anyone outside of the brewery, so we're very happy to have brought it here to Ashley's for the Throwdown tonight.
Great. Well, thanks for talking us to tonight, and we have we're coming down to the wire, I believe. We have another hour and a half, and good luck to you.
Yeah, go Saugatuck.
All right.
Thanks.